Welcome back to Mall Biolect. So today's video I'll be my today's video topic is step 7 of glycolysis. So let's start with it. But before starting, please subscribe to my channel, okay? Mall Biolect. Tap that bell button and also share this video with your friends, colleagues and other juniors, okay? So let's start. So initially I've told about the 1,3-BPG, the structure of which you might remember. You should practice these structures at home whenever possible, at least once every day. If you just go through the structures, it will be easier to remember the structures, okay? So now converting to 3PG, 3PG is nothing but we will have a CO minus over in the top, the CHOH, and the phosphate will be transferred to this part, okay? So this is a reversible reaction, okay? Is a reversible reaction, but in this case ADP over here gets converted to ATP. So because ADP is getting converted to ATP, we also need magnesium ion for the continuation of this reaction, okay? The del G value of this reaction, the del G0 dash value for this reaction is minus 18.5 kilojoule per mole, okay? So next we will start with the characteristics of the reaction. So the characteristics of the reaction will be, first of all, this reaction is an exergonic reaction because the del G value is in the negative side. So it's an exergonic reaction which is opposed to what we expect because it's a reversible reaction. So we expect that the del G value should be the positive side, but it's an opposite to what we estimate. So it's an exergonic reaction. Number two, this reaction is basically the first ATP producing reaction. So it's first producing ATP, okay, or first production of ATP. I guess my grammatical mistake over here. First production of ATP, and also number three, the 1,3-BPG, it has a high, you should remember this, it has a high group transfer potential. It has a high group transfer potential higher than ATP such that it is able to phosphorylate the ADP to ATP, okay, the ADP to ATP. So it's a high group transfer potential, okay. Now next, so step number 6 and the step number 7, they are actually a coupled reaction, okay, it's a coupled reaction. So this happens simultaneously together. Basically it's an energy coupling process, I can say. So where 1,3-BPG over here is basically a common intermediate among the reactions. Since step 7 is highly exergonic, it is coupled to step 6 so that there is an overall forward reaction. So, okay, overall forward reaction. The sum of del G0 of the previous value, okay, the previous value I was talking about, the sum of del G value, which was 6.3 kilojoule per mole. It was previous, okay, the previous del G value reaction was 6.3 kilojoule per mole, and over here is minus 18.5 kilojoule per mole. So it gives me around, the overall del G for this reaction is equal to minus 12.2 kilojoule per mole. So as it is a coupled process, then the previous del G and this del G, we add the both, then we get a overall del G value of minus 12.2 kilojoule per mole, okay. So that is clear, right? Now also this reaction is also known as the substrate level phosphorylation. So substrate, there are many other phosphorylations like enzymatic phosphorylations, photophosphorylations, but this substrate level phosphorylation, because here the substrate 1,3-BPG is phosphorylating ADP to ATP, okay. So this is the characteristic of step 7. Now in this video only we will discuss about step 8. So let me clear my board, okay. So my board is clear. Now moving forward with step 8 of this reaction. So in step 8, what happens is that we have 3PG, the structure of which is CO minus, and then we have the CHOH, and then we have CH2O PO3 2 minus. This will be converted to 3PG to 2PG, 3-phosphoglycerate to 2-phosphoglycerate. So the overall reaction is very much simple. It's just kind of an isomeric reaction going on over here. So CH2OH. So this is our 2-phosphoglycerate or 2PG, we can say. For this we need the enzyme phosphoglycerate mutase. Phosphoglycerate mutase. And we also require magnesium ion for this reaction. Okay, I just remember something, that I have not said that what was the enzyme in step 7. Okay, so in step 7 the enzyme's name was phosphoglycerate kinase. Phosphoglycerate kinase. I just forgot to mention the name of the enzyme. So now 3PG to 2PG conversion is done. Now the del G value for this reaction is positive or negative. It's on the positive side, 4.4 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so enzymatically what happens, it's a very complex mechanism, but we don't need that mechanism that much. But I will just say that in characteristic of enzyme, there is a phosphorylated histidine residue of the mutase. It's in the mutase enzyme, which is transferred to the hydroxyl group of the C2 of the 3PG, that is the carbon number 2 over here 3PG, and forming 2,3-BPG. So this 2,3-BPG is actually an intermediary step that is formed. So this 3PG does not directly convert to 2PG, but in an intermediate it first forms 2,3-BPG, and from that 2,3-BPG we get the 2PG. Okay, it's a complex enzymatic reaction, but we don't need that. Just I am saying. So this 2,3-BPG is then transferred to the same histidine residue, and it produces something known as the 2PG. Okay, so the enzymatic reaction or the enzymatic active center cleft contains a phosphorylated histidine residue, and this histidine residue is active whenever it is phosphorylated, and whenever this dephosphorylated is basically inactive. So histidine residue towards this in this enzymatic conversion actually it phosphorylates itself and also dephosphorylates itself. So initially the 2,3-BPG is produced by other pathways. Okay, and this 2,3-BPG, it is basically coming from other pathways, like other metabolic pathways we have, and this other metabolic pathways is providing this 2,3-BPG, and this 2,3-BPG is actually activating the histidine residue in the enzyme. So it's basically activating the histidine residue in the enzyme. This histidine residue, when it activated, it becomes phosphorylated histidine residue. So his P. So P is phosphorylated and his means histidine residue. And this histidine residue in the active center cleft converts first 3PG into 2,3-BPG once again. And this 2,3-BPG again is converted back into 2PG, where the relative phosphorylation of the residues are changed. Over here it's in the 3 position, over here it's in the 2nd position. Okay, so this is how it takes place. So in this video I have discussed about the step 7 and step 8 of glycolysis. If you like this, then please subscribe, share, and this channel this video with your friends and others. Also visit this channel often, and also subscribe, and please tap that bell icon, so whenever I am uploading a new video, you are the first to get notification about it. Molviolet out. Thank you.